So, Gamera Rebirth is currently out on Netflix right now. And yeah, this might be kind of a spoiler video, so it's up to you to watch it. We are going to discuss 8 of the different kaijus seen in that series. Although they stated that Gamera will fight only 5 of them, making 6 in total, but there are actually 2 more, so let's get to it. Let's start with Gamera. So 100,000 years prior, an ancient civilization utilized Gamera for genocide. However, he was stolen and turned against them before they used him, disrupting their plan for human genocide and population control. This Gamera is colored in a dark greenish with bright bluish highlights on its shell. It possesses large green eyes and a pointed snout. Its long tail features small spikes on top, and its hands are large with black claws. It also has 2 tusks as well as sharp teeth, and it appears to be 60 meters or 200 feet tall. Unlike the jagged plates covering its carapace, its shell consists of smooth plates. Similar to the Heisei version of the character, when Gamera takes flight or swims, its front limbs transform into flipper-like wings. Unlike the earlier versions, bright blue flames emit from the leg holes of its shell and the backs of its flippers for supersonic flight. So it also possesses various powers, including flight, flame projection, EMP shockwaves, a fiery vanishing hand, a shell saw, a jet barrier, gravitational control, an Aurelium energy cannon which was its ultimate weapon, and an energy field, as well as the ability to reincarnate, making it OP here in this show. Next, Gaus. So in this series, the origins of Gaus is like the other kaijus, genetically and biologically engineered by a group of ancient human civilizations 100,000 years ago. They wanted to rid the world of humanity and establish a master race, but the plans were foiled by Gamera. In the beginning of the series, it is described that Gaus have eggs, and these were discovered in a mining base in New Guinea, and when these eggs hatch, it led to a swarm of baby Gaus wreaking havoc in the Philippines and later in Japan, and they grew in size gradually and fast, depending on the food source. This kaiju is overall crimson or red in color and has 2 bat-like wings with 2 legs that end in sharp claws. It also has a prehensile tail and a head which is triangular in shape, with 2 eyes and a pair of horns. It can also shoot out a laser beam-like power from its mouth that is called the supersonic scalpel. The biggest Gaus was smaller than Gamera and would have been around 30 meters or 100 feet tall in height. Gaus here is a swarm species and highly predatory. The third kaiju, Jagger. This is another kaiju that was a rival to Gamera, and it was stated to be 60 meters or 200 feet long. Its origins are not explicitly stated, but we can infer that it was engineered by the organization called the Foundation, the Eustace Foundation. In the beginning, we were able to see several of its eggs being held in a large tube, and when they were released, the juvenile Jaggers began to eat everything in sight, even cannibalizing on themselves, with the strongest one becoming the gigantic Jagger that faces off against Gamera. It looks to be of a dinosaur in appearance, but a mix of several species. It has a triceratops-like head with a gigantic crest and a single large horn on its top. It also had several pairs of tusks on its face. It possesses a Spinosaurian-like sail on its back and a long prehensile tail that ended in a sharp spike that it uses to stab its enemies and victims. It also has large claws and a mouth full of sharp teeth. It was very agile for its size, but was killed when Gamera put his flaming fist inside of her and burned her from the inside, and then ending with a flaming shot. The fourth kaiju, Zigra. Zigra is a sea kaiju resembling a dragon-like manta ray. It has a tough silvery grey skin, wings with claws, and a sharp head with serrated teeth. Zigra can swim very fast, reaching over 200 knots underwater and even faster by creating bubbles. It uses echolocation underwater and can withstand missile attacks, while it is still susceptible to EMP shockwaves that can disorient it, and it is also vulnerable to fire attacks by Gamera. Zigra's head can pierce through ships easily. Its long tail can stretch a long way even from land to the shoreline. Its size is stated to be 130 meters long, but the tail can extend to several hundreds of extra meters. On land, it moves slowly using its fins and legs. While it can glide in the air with its wing-like fins, it does not do so in an agile manner. Zigra can also shoot an indigo energy beam from its mouth, but it was killed by Gamera with a flaming shot. The fifth kaiju, Gairon. Gairon is a kaiju that looks like a 4-legged metallic monster with a dark blue spine-like skin, 4 legs with 5 silver claws on each, and a big silver blade on its head that is as long as its body. Its head blade can be opened up to reveal 3 sharp parts that it can move with its muscles. Gairon uses this blade to cut through anything, even other monsters. It can also dig into the ground very quickly and was said to be a subterranean life form that emerged from an underground mine. Gairon is super flexible and can stretch its body like rubber. It also uses this ability to attack and reach lengths of up to 100 meters or 328 feet. It's really good at moving around and even jump from long distances in the air. Gairon has a special attack where it can shoot shuriken-like blades from its tail using energy from its back and spines. And they come out from the head blade like a railgun. But in the end it was sliced in half by Gamera using his shell saw attack. The 6th Kaiju Virus. This kaiju looks like a mix between a squid and an octopus, as well as being twice the height of Gamera, around 90 meters or 328 feet, and even longer when taking the tentacles into consideration. It has a dark yellow skin and a mouth with sharp teeth and small tentacles on each side of its head. It also has something like insect-like jaws. It possesses 8 tentacles, and at the end of each one of them, there is a mouth with pointy teeth. It also has a shell on its head that can open up into 3 parts, and inside of it, there's a special cannon called the Lightning of Hemuden. Virus can do some cool things. It can make electricity with its head shell and use its tentacles to shock its enemies. It can create an energy shield to protect itself from Gamera's attacks. When it opens its head shell, it can charge up the Lightning of Hemuden and shoot a powerful beam of electricity that can even reach into space. It can also stretch out its tentacles real far to grab things, like it tried to do so with the Foundation Supply shuttle, and also to beat Gamera to a pulp. And here's a fun one: by flipping upside down, it can use its head shell and tentacles to fly like a spaceship, using something called gravitons and anti-gravity. Number 7. S. Gauss. Genetically engineered in 1989, it lived within the body of Virus until it was released upon the Kaiju's death. S. Gauss stands out among its counterparts with several unique features, including having 4 eyes instead of 2, a distinctive 2-pronged elongated tongue, and membranes between its horns at the head, and a dark red pigmentation on its body. One of its remarkable abilities is enhanced growth, achieved by consuming Virus's remains, enabling S. Gauss to reach towering heights surpassing even Gamera, even twice the size at maybe 90 meters or 300 feet tall. While its size deprived it of flying, it however acquired the ability of swift underwater movement like Zigra. Its durability also increased significantly, with a tough hide that can withstand missile attacks and tank firepower like Jagger and Gairon. S. Gauss wields a signature sonic beam, a magenta-colored energy beam blasting from its mouth. Moreover, it gained gravity-enhanced sonic beam after consuming Virus, utilizing its head fins to generate gravitation energy for devastating land-based attacks. Notably, S. Gauss possesses the unique ability to inject RNA viruses capable of reverting other kaiju to their original forms and roles, and it injects these into its target using its specialized tongue. It was the backup plan for the Foundation, the Eustace Foundation, and it was so powerful that only the ultimate attack of Gamera was able to kill it. And lastly, number 8. Toto. This is the small reincarnated baby Gamera that is a foot tall and cute as fuck. Baby Gamera is very similar to the large Gamera and bears a resemblance to Toto, but it is lighter green than his adult counterpart's coloration, with white claws instead of black, and also stubby tusks. Well, it's still a juvenile. It also has a sharper beak with no teeth and 3 rows of small bumps on the top of its head. So that's all we have to say about Toto. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video on the 8 different kaijus in the Gamera Rebirth series. Anyway, do hit that like button for support and subscribe, but most of all, smash that bell icon for regular updates on new videos here on this channel. Till the next one, take care, fam.